I'm Raquel. I was born in Mexico. I came to the United States when I was 16 years old, and since then I'm here. Why do I came to America? The reason why I came to America is because I have a lot of brothers and sisters. My mother wasn't working in Mexico. She was just taking care of us. And my father was the only one who was working. And they were struggling a lot to take care of us. So first of all, my older brother, he was the first one who came to America illegally. Then he managed to fix up his residence in the United States. Then after that he will bring us one by one. But when I decided to come to America, it was because I wanted to help my mom and my dad. Because financially they were really, really bad. They were not able to feed my brothers and sisters. And my older brother that was here, was helping them, but it was not enough money. So I decided to take an adventure to come to America without visa. How do I came to America? Like I said, I didn't have a visa to cross the border. It took me 3 days in a bus to get to the border to Tijuana, and I stayed in Tijuana for probably a week, trying to cross the border until my brother finds someone. These people had a nickname. They call them coyotes, but actually it's people who bring illegal people to America for money. And it's how I crossed the border. I ran up in the hills. Sorry, but I did that. I ran up in the hills, but it took me a week to get here because they will, the immigration will cut us and put me on jail for a day or two, and they send me back to Tijuana. And I was, I was not giving up. So the third time is when I make it into the United States, and is how I cross the border. You know what? As I was 16, I think it was really easy for me to adopt, the culture of the United States. I'm okay to celebrate, 4th of July and all these other, celebrations they do over here. It was easy for me to do that. The process, it was tough. It was hard in the beginning because, first of all, the language, I was not speaking any English. Still not speaking English right now, but I try. I did not speak any English, and it was for me to communicate with, with the places I was going to apply for a job. So I did have a friend who worked in a hotel as a housekeeping, and she was the one who helped me to get a job. You mean like welfare and stuff like that?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe ask for any help from the government, because once if I decide to come to America, it's for me to get better, get a job, work hard, and get better, and not for me to get here and be what do you call, a person who wanted to be living off the government. I do love to live in America. I love to be in America. I'm an American citizen now. After 3 years after I came from Mexico, 3 years later, I became a resident. I have my green card after 3 years. And then after that, I applied for my American citizenship, and I'm an American citizenship, and nothing. I'm working hard, and I'm saving my money. Now I'm able to do things that I wasn't able to do it before. When I didn't have any money, I'm able to help my family, my mother and my father. I was able to help them, to get them a green card. They don't live here in the United States, but they do come like once a year and stay here for a month or so, and they go back to Mexico. So they are able to go back and forth to Mexico and the United States. So they're very happy, and I'm happy because now, as I'm working hard and I'm saving my money, I'm able to do things that I wasn't able to do it before. I'm able to travel. I go to Europe. I just went to Europe. I went to Israel. I went to Palestine. I went to Italy. So that's amazing. I like to be an American citizen.
Hi, I'm Linda Campbell. I came to America when I was a child. I was 1967, and it was 1967. I was 7 years old when I came here. Well, I was the oldest of 3 kids. There was my mom and dad and the 3 of us, and in 1967 and 68, there was open immigration to America. So you could just move here if you wanted to and live here. But my mom and dad had big families. They're both the oldest of 7 kids, Irish Catholic families. And my dad had 2 sisters that had already moved to California, and they encouraged him to move here with the family. So up until that point, you could just move here if you wanted to with the family, and of course he was hesitant. But then in June of 1968, they were closing immigration because they had quotas that they had to match, so to make sure that each country had a certain quota of people that could immigrate here. So we moved here in March because they were closing the immigration in June. So that was our window. If we were going to do it, we had to do it then. And he packed up our little family, and we moved here to the San Fernando Valley. And we had my Aunt Pauline, who was his older sister. She claimed us because back then someone had to claim you into the country and sponsor you, so to speak, make sure that you had a place to live and whatnot. So that was how we got started, at least getting here. Well, what's not to adapt to? It's very easy to. Compared to what we had in Ireland, it was very limited to how we lived. It's a much smaller, easier way of life where you live with a lot less. You walk everywhere. Not everyone had cars. We all had homes, but like my mom and dad, for instance, they were both the oldest of 7 kids, and they each lived in 2-bedroom homes. And they each had 6 siblings, and they had the boys in 1 bedroom, the girls in the other, and the parents were downstairs in a parlor. So for us to come here and have a bigger home and a bigger kitchen and this is the American dream. It was very easy to adapt to American life. We've never left our Irish roots. We honor it in many ways through music and dance and through the American culture, and we have a lot of Irish friends, and we've kept friends with them our whole life here. But it was very easy to adapt to the American life because it has so much to offer compared to life in a small European country. Well, that really didn't affect me too much, other than I had a alien card, they called it back then, green card. It was actually bluish in color, and I had that up until, believe it or not, I should have became a citizen right after high school when all the history was still fresh in my mind, but I didn't get around to it. I only became a citizen about 10 years ago. So I went through the process of being a citizen, which I had to refresh all my history of the U.S. and Senate terms and all that. So I had to do that. But as far as looking for a job, the only difference would have been was that I wasn't a U.S. citizen. So I did always have to show my green card or my alien card as part of my my residency, because I was a permanent resident. I was a permanent resident. I could live here because I had that, but I didn't have to. There was no other difference really with applying for a job. Even traveling out the country with my husband and now children, I always had to have my alien card when we traveled, and of course now I became a citizen, so I don't have to do that anymore. No, we never have. God bless my poor father. He worked so hard when we moved here in 1968. He didn't have a job when we first landed, but my aunt had lined him up some small work and some small jobs. He was a carpenter, and he tried to get into the studios. So I remember at one time he had 3 jobs, and he kept us all in Catholic school in the San Fernando Valley, and we had a little house in the San Fernando Valley that my mom lives in even now to this day. She won't leave. And but we never applied for aid. Never. We always just did our best to work and support ourselves, and knew that if we didn't work, we didn't have anything. So it was always up to us, even as young children, to make sure we were providing for ourselves. We never asked for government aid. Oh, I think I have. I talked to Ireland to see cousins that are my age, and I grew up with, and I'm still, even though we live 6,000 miles away, I'm very close to them. I mean, I talk to them on Facebook, and we text message and all that, but they are so envious of all of us living in America and the lifestyle we have here, and the opportunity we have here. I mean, they heard I grew up in the San Fernando Valley, and they think, oh, do you know movie stars? Because I mean, this is God's country that we live in out here, and it's very easy to live out here, I think, and we have a lot of opportunity, and it's up to us what we do with it. I think we have a responsibility to ourselves to go out and get what we want in life, to earn what we want, and it's the American dream, and we should all have it. But you got to go out and earn it, and hard work pays off, and it's the only place I would ever want to live.